G'day everyone and welcome to Flock, a New Orleans Pelicans podcast. I am your host, Lyle Swithenbank, all the way from sunny Perth, Western Australia. You can follow us on Twitter at Lyle Swithenbank. Make sure you hit that subscribe button underneath. Make sure if you're listening on the audio-only version, you're getting us in that queue and hitting that download button as well, because we appreciate all of the support. Gosh, the Pelicans, am I right? Game 2 of Summer League in the books. The Pelicans fall to the Los Angeles Lakers 94-81 in a scrappy affair. Gosh, one of those games that, again, a tale of two halves for the lottery picks. And in terms of passing the ball, gosh, we had 0 assists in the second half, 6 for the entire game. And I don't think I've ever seen that before. And that's where we'll start. We're going to unpack the game to start off with. Gosh, it was a bit of a sorry affair. No one really showed out in a way that we thought was going to happen. I thought perhaps, let's get the jitters out and settle in. Start showing out. And there were flashes, right? I can't just write everyone off from the beginning. But not really a game that you want to remember, and plenty to take away in the film room and at training tomorrow, I guess, before they take on the next game. So let's start at the box score. Starting lineup in this game, Lester Canones in, Derek Queen, Messi, Reeves, and Jeremiah Fears. First half, I don't really know what we were trying to do. We started really hot. It was 0-9. Lakers couldn't make a shot. And from there, I thought, let's settle in. Let's get going. We were attacking the basket. We were moving the ball. And the shots weren't probably hitting as well as we were hoping. But you think you get into the game and you start settling in. Unfortunately, whatever happened from probably halfway through the second quarter right through for the rest of the game, it just turned on its head. No one wanted to pass the ball. Everyone wanted at least 20 dribbles with it before they did anything. It was all isolation. We barely set screens for each other. There was no dribble handoffs. There was no pick and rolls. There was no drive and kicks. We had opportunities to spray it out to the corners, which the Lakers did very well, mind you. It was a tale of two games in terms of the final assist numbers. The assists, gosh, we had 6, they had 27, and that was the difference, is being able to pass the ball, move the ball, and continue to make your teammates better. So we really didn't do that at all. I mean, you look at the assist numbers in the box score, pure box score. We had 2 for Lester, 1 for Derek Queen. Fears had none. Keon Brooks had 1, and Shoemate had 1. Dickerson had 1. 3 of those are power forwards. 4 of them are power forwards, in fact. So we had no guards get an assist. How are you meant to win games and, show what you can do if you're not making the correct pass? And that is always going to be a tricky thing. Look, we talked about it in the last episode. Guard play is really paramount in this. And the commentators talked about it perfectly in the game as well. It's not necessarily about scoring the ball. People don't just want to see pure numbers, but they want to see all of your strengths. You need to show out and show people that, hey, I can do this. I can create for others. I can break defenses down. I defend really hard. I get rebounds. Yes, I can shoot the ball, or perhaps no, I'm not that good of a shooter, but I do other things. And when they take away one offensive skill, well, perhaps I can do something else. And I don't think we showed anything beyond being one-dimensional tonight. And that's not just Jeremiah Fears. That's not just Derek Queen. That was across the board. And yes, again, Summer League. We have that overarching asterisk on that. But gosh, it makes it really, really difficult to assess a team when all we want to do is go one-on-one. So, it was a tricky one. It was a tricky one for the Pels, and I think Coach Corey Brewer has a lot to unpack in the film room. I also would love to know what they said at halftime, because the guys came out faster, but it was just all isolation. Was the directive just go and cook them? Because even that didn't work, because we turned the ball over, we second-guessed things, we got caught in two minds, and we were careless with the basketball. Once again, turnovers for the game. We had 15 turnovers, and they had 17. So, they've got more, but it's also where you turn the ball over. It's live ball turnovers, it's careless passes. And again, we go back, Summer League and things like that, but those are also key fundamentals that you want to see these players get better at. And what you don't want to have happening is continually running up the turnover count because we're trying to make the too complex pass, or we're over dribbling, like the opposite basically, we're over dribbling and not making the right reads. And so that's really where we've got to work on, and I want to see that from our young guys, particularly that'll be going into the senior team come October. So not all bad, some bright sparks, but yeah, plenty to work on, that's for sure. Now, we'll run through each of the players, just have a chat about what we liked. So in this one, Leicester, he cooled down. He had 9 points in 22 minutes, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 3 of 9, hit 3 threes. And he's a streaky player, right? He talked about it in training, in one of the training videos, or post-training videos. He was there and saying, I'm an old head now for this Summer League team. I need to make sure that I'm letting people know that how they're going to operate and what they can get out of this and what they can do to show out and get better. So when you've got guys that have been there, done this, that is the key thing. And these young guys should be getting into it, right? That, I think, is paramount. Really important to have a guy like that has been there, done that, has been on different teams, has been in the G League, has had some success in that level, and, learn as much as you can. So I like the change into the starting lineup, but unfortunately, it's just one of those games that no one really passed the ball, so it's hard to get catch and shoots, or if you didn't create for yourself, you weren't getting the ball. So, Derek Queen, 12 and 13, another double-double, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 4 of 12, missed his 3, which was another one of those sort of rushed, step-backy sort of things. Only 2 turnovers. Look, he was more comfortable than the first game, but he's spotty, right? So he played 26 minutes. It really shows that if he's not being targeted on the ball or not given the ball, then he's going to switch off at times. And we saw that on the defensive end. We saw it on the last play of the game where they inbounced and Bronny James went in. Yeah, there's no point fouling him with 1 second left to go, but you've also got to be making sure you're taking care of the ball at all points of the game, whether it's over or not. There's no garbage time in this game, in this whole summer league, right? All of this is being dissected. So if you're doing things that are careless, well, that's going to be unpacked just as much as the things that happen 1 minute into the game. So that's something that he just needs to make sure that he's focusing on, is that attention to detail and executing at all points. I love that he goes up and gets rebounds. He's got really long arms compared to how big he is. I don't know how big he is. 6'9", 6'10", which is probably not big enough to be playing a center in the NBA. But he's got good positioning. I liked at points he was going and finding his man to box out. He likes to bring the ball up a bit and then create for others. He threw a lob to Misi, which I thought was wicked. All of those things are great skills. It's just the consistency, which I imagine will come as he gets fitter and stronger, because at the moment, he looks like he'll give you 100% effort and then he'll give you 40% on the next play. So that's just going to come with reps. Plenty of talent. There's no doubt about the talent that's there. It's just going to be consistency and reps and attention to detail, I think, is a big thing for him. Yeah, Big Eve, he played 24.47 minutes. He had 7 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks. Much more active on the defensive end this game than he was perhaps in the first one. Again, free throws an issue, 3 of 6. Looked a little bit lost at times, perhaps better than he was. But again, it's really hard when the guards aren't passing the ball. So what are you going to do? You've got to go and get offensive rebounds. You've got to go and crash the boards and, put yourself in a position to be successful. So he did a bit of that. Really difficult game for the big man in this one. Reeves, 20 points, 6 rebounds, no assists, and 3 steals, 6 of 13, 1 of 2 from 3. Got himself no turnovers either. So I thought he was probably our most aggressive player. But again, perhaps that was because he didn't get much of the ball in the last game. And so instead he was attacking and creating, and no one was passing to one another or moving into positions to be successful. So you've got a guy that was like, I'll just take it to the basket and get into it. So final starter was Jeremiah Fears, our top draft pick this year. 15 points, 2 rebounds, no assists, 5 of 21 shooting, 1 of 7, 4 of 5 free throws. He had 3 turnovers. One was really early on, and probably the commentators cursed because they said, he's got to take care of the ball, and bang, turned it over. Jeremiah has all of the confidence in the world, and he's just got to find his range and what he can actually do on the court that creates an advantage. He's fast. He attacks the basket like a madman. That last quarter, he was great. He was fantastic because he was straight line drive, a little bit of herky jerk, and get up into the basket. And I love that. That's exactly what you've got to do, right? Sometimes I think with these guys coming in, they overthink it. And I can understand it, right? You're being told a million different things. I've got to be able to do everything. If you're taking 21 shots and you know your shot's not falling, but you got a donut in your assist column, that's where that mentality has to switch to, I don't need to go and get 25 points. If I end up with 15 or 12 and 7 assists in this game, and, Misi's got an extra 5 points and Queen's got an extra 5 points, Reeves has hit a couple of threes and Leicester's got a couple. That's great. That's what we want to see. We want to be able to see that point guard mentality where you're not only looking for your own shot, but you're also looking for others. And again, this was a game that you couldn't play off ball, because if you got the ball, you were going to the basket. That was just the mentality of the Pelicans in this one. So really difficult game for the guards. And I think Jeremiah's, what he shows is great. It's that change in mentality that I know that Derek Queen hasn't had a shot in the post for a bit. I know Misi's a lob threat. I know that I've got guys in the corners. If I drive and I'm getting past them every time, but they got shot blockers down there, and we saw that in the third quarter. We drove in and got blocked to living daylights, and Misi ended up putting it in. Might have been the last quarter. That's all well and good, but you've got to be able to see your shooters on the outside, because there was time and again where you had a guy like Brooks or Reeves or Lester out in the corners, and bang, fire those out. Let's get a shot, and if we miss, we miss. So that's all food for thought, and it's all about development and learning, and again, attention to detail. It's reps. You're trying to show out as hard as everyone else. Look, it'll come together. Now, the bench brigade, Trey Alexander played 17 minutes. That guy got hit in the face like 55 times. I've never seen a guy get hit in the nose as many times as Trey Alexander in 2 games. He got hacked. And how many free throws? 2. Sound. So we love that. He had 3 points and 2 rebounds, 1 of 5 shooting. A tough night for him as well. 2 turnovers. He hasn't really shown me anything in these first 2 games. He still had, that's 17 minutes. That's still nearly half a game. They're only 10-minute quarters in the summer league. What do we want to see from him? We want to see consistency. We want to see a bit of scoring. We want a change of pace. I want to see game control. If you're coming in and handling the ball, you sort of got to do something. So I need to see a little bit more from him. I know all of the focus is on the starters, but this guy's a two-way guy that we've brought in. Show out. Why were you brought here? That's all I want to see. John Brooks, the old stalwart that's been around for a while, he had 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 of 4, and 5 of 6 free throws. He was aggressive. He was strong. He's a grown man who was in there playing against some of the younger guys. I thought he looked solid. He got missed a number of times as well when he was in a good position. Had an awesome putback dunk. And, I've always liked Keon Brooks. I think he's a good player. I don't know what happens with him this year, but, I think he's a solid role player and a bench guy on an NBA team for sure. We had Shoemate, who is really bouncy and really athletic. He had 2 points, 3 rebounds, and assist in a steal where he just sort of out-muscled him, and a grown man slammed down the other end. It looked active. Another guy auditioning for a spot. He looked solid. He was fine. Another end-of-bench guy. A big Hunter, a little Hunter, isn't it? 2 points and a rebound and a steal, 1 of 6. I didn't even really notice he was there. And Hunter Dickinson, he's massive. Likes to throw the ball halfway up the court. Nothing too exciting, to be fair. He was big. 2 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a couple of blocks. He played 13 minutes. It's hard to have an impact. I wasn't enamored by anything he did. I didn't think he did too much wrong either, besides an over and back that was just the most obvious over and back that you're ever going to do. So, backcourt violation if you want to be technical. But, all in all, look, the Lakers showed out. And unfortunately, that extends our losing streak to the Lakers by about 4 or 5 now, I think. So, across summer league and regular season, but it is what it is. Plenty to take away, plenty to learn. But yeah, there's going to be some hard conversations, I think, in training, and things I've got to really focus on. And some of them are fundamental. Move the ball. The ball moves faster than the player. Get up in them. Show a bit of fight, bit of gumption on the defenders. So that's what we want to see. Continue to develop, continue to grow, and improve. And hopefully, game 3, 4, and 5. We have a better showing. Again, I don't care if we win or lose, whatever. We've lost 2 games now. We're not going to win Summer League. We're not going to hoist the banner up in the training facility. Just get out of it as much as you can and build on your draft process, build on your summers, and show out and, bring it into the season. Get that rust out. And your trip to Australia as well, because I want to see you guys play. Cool. So, what else did we see at Summer League today? Well, we saw a Lakers team that had a couple of good shooters, a lot of ball movement. That was really impressive for them. Happy for them. Wish them all the best. But, there's some good players on there. Darius Baisley, I thought, was really solid. They got Swinder, who was the 3-point shooter. He was average until he started hitting his shot, and then all of a sudden he couldn't miss. And, Bronny James has got all the reputation and got a few steals and things like that. He looks like a fine second-round pick, I guess. I think he's still got a long way to go, and I'm sure he'll be very good in the G League, but I don't see him contributing on a championship side or anything like that anytime soon. Who was there? Well, we had a whole heap of Pelicans players at this game. Trey, DeJounte, Jordan Poole was there after being acquired from the Wizards. He's going to be an excitement machine, and perhaps we'll talk about him in the next episode a little bit. Zeke Bay was there, Jose, Willie Green was there, Joe Dumas, a number of people. Kevon Looney was there as well. Really cool to see these guys come out and support the Summer League team. It's a great opportunity for them to start gelling with these younger guys and, a bit of mentorship. It's also good for them to build their profile, get out there and, have a few training runs and things like that. It doesn't hurt to have more time together as a team. If you can build some camaraderie into this season, particularly with the new pieces and, the guys that have been injured all year, it does not hurt to have time together. Just continue to learn and grow and understand each other, and then on the court, that'll be so much easier if you understand each other off the court. So, all in all, Pelicans 81-94, plenty to take away. We'll see what happens. I think I'll keep this one a little bit shorter because it is, Saturday night in the US. It's Sunday lunchtime here at the time of recording. So have a great rest of your weekend. Have a restful Sunday if you're listening or watching in the US. And make sure that you hit that subscribe button, the like button as well. We're going to keep doing these videos. They'll continue to get more and more produced as I learn my skills. If you're listening on the audio, I appreciate all your support. Make sure you hit that subscribe, download, wherever you get it. Amazon, Spotify, Apple Music, we're everywhere. If you want to listen, you want to watch, well, you know where to go. At Lyle Swithenbank on Twitter and on YouTube. Make sure you check that out as well. And I think I'll leave it at that. Guys, this has been Flock. I'm your host, Lyle Swithenbank. Stay safe, and of course, bye for now.